The cratering implosion of the pop star as we knew it is a death that I don't think a lot of people would necessarily mourn, at least not if you mentioned it to them at surface level, but things have evolved, and I feel that the pop star as we knew it is starting to become a bit more obsolete because of fans' expectations. The conversation has changed in the 21st century. Fans want more. The barrier has been removed. I'm not talking about at an actual concert, but the barrier that was there where the pop star felt like they were on this huge pedestal. You could only see them if you were keeping up with the gossip columns or if you were watching TMZ and they're followed around and there's Britney Spears coming out of the club. That's not really a thing that happens anymore because once again, fans expect a little bit something different now. Instead of maybe this faceless pop star, and I'm not trying to discredit any actual pop stars of the past like Madonna, Rihanna, even more recent stuff like Bieber, and even back in the day, somebody like Elvis, people who didn't really write their own material, but they were still super famous as a singer, maybe a dancer. There are multiple things that they bring to the table. It's looked down upon almost nowadays because everybody is expected to have another feather in their cap. Oh, here is what I do as a social media person. Here is what I do as an entrepreneur. And I'm also a fashion designer, and I'm a TikTok star. And by the way, I also make music. And it starts to get a little bit crazy when you think about it. The expectations that are put on people's shoulders. And I guess in a way, I'm here to argue in favor of both of these things existing, both the outdated pop star model, but also the rising pop star model, which is, yes, I am involved in the songwriting process, but maybe my label pushes it a little bit harder so as to take the opportunity to connect with fans and make people feel like they're invested in their rise. If you sat down and thought modern day pop star, what's going on right now here in the 2020s, you would probably think of somebody like Dua Lipa, maybe Shawn Mendes would pop to your head, Ava Max, and you could say Billie Eilish or other people like that, and Olivia Rodrigo, Taylor Swift. And I don't necessarily know if any of them outside of maybe Ava Max would actually be accurate, because most of these people, once again, have taken the Taylor Swift model of adding Easter eggs, of putting all of these things in that make the fan feel uber connected. And that relationship can be manipulated at times for your evil artist who is going to try and shove an NFT or whatever else it is down your throat and just try to milk the fans for as much as they're worth. But that's really not the angle that most people are approaching this from. It's once again just that extra hook that's sunk in to make the person care, to maybe feel like, oh, maybe one day I actually could meet this person or get a reply from them on social media because that barrier is gone and the conversation is online. They feel like they're connected to their favorite artist because they're seeing what they post to their IG story every single day. They're following up with their story on TikTok and the demo is dropping and oh my god, they're right here. They're one of us. More so than ever before, the fan wants a seat at the table. They want to be invited. They want to be along for the entire ride. So with that has come the change where somebody like Rihanna, who was so successful, so talented, but didn't really write like 99% of her own stuff, her own lyrics or anything like that. She was known for having so many hits, but also not really having a ton of distinct personality track to track or cohesion between albums because it wasn't really her, it was other people's voices. Now, people have kind of X'd that out in favor of give me what's on your brain so I can feel invested in your life story. Just look to somebody like Olivia Rodrigo and how people latched on so hard. To all of my rock, hip-hop, metal, electronic fans out there, I do have to remind you that pop is not a dirty word because pop can infiltrate really any genre and it's an ever-evolving term because pop in 1950 with like your Frank Sinatra's is absolutely not the same thing as your Dua Lipa in 2020. The gears really started turning in my head after I was watching the most recent season of Stranger Things and I was looking up some of the cast interviews and Millie Bobby Brown was talking about how the producer tag has been given and how maybe some input in the writer's room has been given more and more to younger actors, to younger artists. And the implications of that is that once again, the fans feel a little bit more connected. Like, oh, Millie Bobby Brown isn't just this actor that I see on screen. she also had input, and she was also maybe directing an episode, and I'm not saying that that was the case for her, but it is something that younger people are more and more involved with. You see Billie Eilish, and she directs all of her own music videos now, and again, I feel like that gives even more credence to the fans to be able to be like, oh, she does it all herself. This is a self-made star. In a way, that kind of worries me because I feel like the whole grind set culture of wake up and make it happen, do everything yourself, pull yourself up by your bootstraps, it can be equally as toxic as saying, I'm not gonna do anything. Let them do everything for me and I'll parade around like some out-of-touch celebrity in the year 1993. Build a bridge and get the hell over the idea of somebody having to be exactly what you expect them to be. It's why we keep seeing people get canceled, falling out of graces, and obviously there's extreme situations where people deserve that, but people get into spats and they get all up in a tizzy over their favorite pop artist actually doing something that didn't align with their viewpoint, so therefore they take them off the pedestal and throw them into hell. The expectations the fans put up is astronomical, and I can imagine that on the artist it can feel like this intense, never-ending pressure to constantly be creating, to both be a content creator, to be a musician. They're expected to do all of the things. And the conversation has come up recently because of artists like Halsey and many others calling out the music industry, calling out record labels for trying to force viral moments and trying to, I guess, push upon the virality of something that's not exactly authentic to try and boost the song streams or an album promo, whatever it might be. Marketing tactics are extremely aggressive. Analytics are everything. People are boiled down to numbers. And again, this makes me feel like the pop star has died and it's been replaced with the person that is many different things. And if you're not that, then maybe you don't have a spot at the table any longer. All of this really makes me wonder, will we ever see another Justin Bieber, another Rihanna, somebody as big as they were in their prime for over a decade that can continuously pump out hits? Because now it feels like a viral moment here, maybe a hit, and they're pretty big for a couple of years. Will we see that kind of sustainability? Because it feels like it's in one ear, out the other. There's so many things vying for our attention that how could we possibly place everything on one? And I know there's exceptions, obviously a group like BTS and other more recent acts, and even Ava Max I called out earlier as a new breed of pop star. I feel like people like Drake and name recognition, it's more important than ever before. It's why the rise of guest features has been so huge. Everybody wants that bankable name that they know if I've got them on there, well, at least that's gonna get some more streams. And it doesn't really matter the quality, as long as you've got the name, the look, the aesthetic, whatever you're going for, then it's probably gonna be a hit and labels see the exact same dollar signs.